Good evening, brothers and sisters out there, lovers of truth out there, lovers of wisdom out there, lovers of freedom out there. I want to thank you this evening for your availability to watch this section. This section is going to be a wonderful discussion and instruction. We have brought this before you this evening to teach you something that you don't know. And I will call this, in our movement, it is called traditional heritage. These are our traditional heritage in our reconciliation process. These are traditional heritage. These are traditional heritage in our reconciliation process. Okay. As a citizen, what do you need to know concerning yourself as a citizen? What are the rights? What are the privileges that makes you a citizen in a nation? Let's consider all of us citizens in this barbaric nation called Nigeria, where tyranny reigns, where you can only be known by government only if you carry gun. That is what Nigeria is. You can only be paid attention to if you become a tyrant. The government can only identify you and listen to you when you are in the bush. The government of Nigeria can only know you exist when you are doing meetings of overthrow. That is when they will know you exist. Nigerian government will only know that you are a human being when you assemble boys in tyranny and give them gun. You become a good man. They give you kingship, because that is what they want. They give you kingship, for doing that. And all these things we are trying to do is to help our people understand our predicament in the quest of unification of the South East and the South. There's nothing like South anyway. But according to their political brouhaha, if one of my friends used to say it's a political brouhaha, I love that man. So let us go straight to business. As an Easterner, you have an identity. What is your identity? As a citizen, you have an identity. What is your identity? Our identity is what is going to anchor today's program on reconciliation and as well as our traditional heritage. Before I begin, I would like to offer words of prayer once again to the eternal Father in heaven, the supreme of all, who have sent us to this message, and as well to the ancestors and other spirits. I want to reveal to you in this video that I have seen angels, they are men. I have seen spirits, they are women. And we know how they look like and what we worship. We don't worship what we don't know. We don't call a God that we don't know how he looks like. We don't call a spirit that we have not known or seen. I told you earlier in one of my videos that one of the spirit I met, in English name, it is called Azil, which is the first princess of the 7 princes. It's called Azil. And Azil is the spirit of the first seal. Remember I told you I'm the bearer of the 4 seals. 1, 2, 3, 4. From 1, 2, 3, and 4 seals, I bear the authority. And the 5th seal is the order of which I stand on to proclaim the message which the Father has given unto me to give unto you, which is the seal of the Son, the 5th seal. In the previous video, I discussed to you about the seals. You can find more, you can learn more about these seals in the Torah of Israel, though it will be much more of symbol. But while talking about the seal today, there are more other important materials before me here on this table that I need to put to your understanding. So so that I can further elaborate or help you enhance more of the knowledge you seek in the part of this restoration. Okay, in restoring our identity, before it was called Biafra in 1967, what was we? What were we called? What were we called? Question. A very big question, number one. Before the name Biafra was proclaimed, what were we called? Number one. And now, before Biafra flag, which we are flying today, was established, what was the flag existing before that one? Remember that Ojukwu raised an army and raised the flag of the army that he used to fight and establish it as a military nation. We will not make the mistake that our fathers make in the restoration process of this nation. It must come. But I tell you, if we make a mistake, we will be overrun again for another 1,000 years plus before we can be independent people. Don't say you are not wrong. What do I want you to understand? I want you to understand that the race that you and I is in today in the restoration of the Eastern nation is the same race Jesus Christ run. It's the same kingdom Jesus Christ came to restore that he was crucified for. But the Bible told you and I that it is the kingdom of God above. They twisted everything, to confuse you and I. But let us begin to study and come down one by one. Without taking much of your time, let us offer prayer to our Supreme Father. The Father of all spirits, the Father of all flesh, the Father of all gods. By the authority vested in me as your high prince, I pray unto thee, O Father, that this message will sink in the heart of our brethren in understanding, that this truth might be proclaimed in peace, and that this nation, of which you have put it as a labor in our hands, must come to our fulfillment, that we, your seeds on earth today, will witness it, not in death, but in life. This we desire of thee, O Father, through thy eternal Spirit, and by the name of thy eternal Son. Amen. Thank you. We'll proceed. I want to begin with this. This is a traditional heritage. So many of us don't even know what this means. Even the kings don't even know what it means. Some of you call it Okwegwu. Okwegwu means rainbow. If you have no relationship or association with the rainbow, will you have Okwegwu? This Okwegwu is the same as the coat of many colors. I want you to trace your origin in the Bible and know who you are. Igbo man is of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Igbo man is the principal root of the tribe of Israel. Igbo man is the Israel. Look at the way I brought it down until I mentioned it open as a hit tag. Igbo man is the Israel. The Israel is the Hebrew of old. Okay, now, this is a symbol of the rainbow above, of which we look up to as the only sign Father has given unto mankind towards his visibility, is the rainbow. That is the covenant he made with Enoch, the rainbow. That is the covenant he made with Noah, the rainbow. That is the covenant he made with Abraham, the rainbow. That is the covenant he has been making with every other generational prophet down to Moses, Elijah, and what have you. When they look up to the heavens to talk, what they see as an affirmation is the rainbow. And in our culture, we have maintained it. In the previous civilization, it was called the coat of many colors. We wore it as clothes. And in this civilization, it is now in the camp of Ugwe. The whole world, there is no other people that have such symbol in their culture. Together with the cloth, this staple cloth here, it is called George. These two things is to manifest the many colors of the rainbow in our cultural exhibition or in our traditional heritage activities. Now, how do we wear it? A young youth is qualified in the East to put this on his head when he have attained the height. That is the meaning of a parable. It is for shoulder pad. When the shoulder pad has been done, when the traditional rite of the shoulder pad has been done, which is called ikenga, that is now when you are qualified to wear this, of which you have been prepared as a warrior. And when you wear it, it shall fall down to your shoulder. That is what is meant by shoulder pad. And it must be on the left shoulder. If you wear it, it will fall and rest on your left shoulder. So it's not just a small thing like this. That's number one. Number two of the usage of this, when a man have reached the age of marriage, as the other words will sound, it is when after the traditional rite of Nwamakwa, on that day of the Nwamakwa, they will be decorated with this as the children of Amadioha. Then this cap will be worn. In the essence of this ball will be at the front. That is to say that you are a traditional or cultural participant in a program. If you are not involved in the drums, you are involved in the vocal response of any traditional or cultural exhibition in our environment. Number three, when the masquerade group gather and they want to exercise what we call our cultural heritage exhibition, where we test who is who, Ndedimpa. Sometimes we'll call it Oja. The other people call it Ebagaba. Others call it Ebamang. Where we test the strength of the spirit that propels each culture that we display. Now, those in the exercise of such cultural exhibition will wear this. With this pointing up. I have explained this. Ask your king if he has otherwise to say concerning this. Now, our youth abuse it, and so the security agencies use it as a medium of tormenting our people. You cannot wear this without being a man of power. If that ikenga is done, that is to say, our warriors, that's why we beat them. Guns and your military gadget is not for them when they are at war. This is what those SEALs will do for us. Thank you. We are done with that. Now, this is a cow horn. In the culture, we don't use cow in our culture. This cow is the symbol of the Baphomet. Sometimes you think it is goat. No, it is this cow. I know what I'm telling you. This cow is the power that manipulated creation. This is where they tested it. This is where the Baphomet himself made manifest. Go and research. Go and research the heat of the Baphomet. It's just a cow. Now, in our culture, we don't use this. What we use is ram horn. Ram horn. Now, such rams, we can't find them here. Even the ones we find in the north, their horns are not equal to what we call. There are some ram horns you see, the equivalent to this size and long. These are the kind of ram horn we use in our cultural and traditional heritage exhibition. Where you can see such kind of horn is in Israel. That's where you can see such kind of horn is in Israel. I have tried to search for it here. I can't find it. The ones I found are old, and then I was referred where I can get them. There are some rituals we use them to do when we are calling down heaven and the spirit. There are sounds we make with them, because sometimes it's a flute. It's not this one. When you make flute with this, it cannot call heaven. This is the evil one. This is his own manifestation in humanity. Avoid it. Stay away from it. Oh, Obi Kubana, and many of you who have buried your parent with a cow, it is not acceptable. Go and ask questions. Your mother, you have not been received by the ancestors of your land. This cow, you speak me, if you like, you kill 1 billion cow. Fa. Ihe anyị na-eji edula nwaanyị bụ ehi Igbo. Ndị Igbo nụrụ olu m. Mkpọlashi biko ala echela m manyakwala aftakwala dada karụ n'oke echi. Ha na-eji edula nwaanyị ma ala akwa nwaanyị. Nwaanyị ukwu dịka nne Obi Kubana. A woman that born a child like Obi Kubana is worthy of a celebration. What a wonderful mother. What a blessed seed that comes from a woman of that nature. And when such women who live to see such glory of their child being exhibited in affecting the lives of people positively, such women in our culture, we bury them and send them home in honor with our traditional heritage cow. Not this one. This is not our cow. We have our own cow called the bull. That's what we use. And that is what is acceptable both in the spirit. This is not acceptable even in the spirit. Go and ask questions. I don't know the level of your chief priest, Obi Kubana. I don't know the level of his oppression, but I would love to teach him and educate him more so that he can make you blossom more. I love you, and that's why I am using this as an example, so that please make our time. Just buy one. We don't need 2 billion. Those of you who have given cows, it was not accepted. But many took it because they want to satisfy their lust to eat meat. No. The eating of the meat is not what matters in that tradition. What matters is the rite performed on that, so that that woman can have a peaceful passage and be glorified thereafter. I am teaching you this. All right. Let me come down. I'm using Obi Kubana as an example today because this is a trending scenario in our environment. And I want to use it to teach you. Because everywhere you go, Obi Kubana, Obi Kubana. So I want to use Obi Kubana background and what happened to extend a message unto you. Please, I pray that you understand where I'm coming from, so that we stop abusing our identity. In all the scenario of Obi Kubana experience, the money thrown, whatever, I can arrange with 10 of my friends and say, bring 1 million, I want to make a burial, come and throw me money. That is bullshit. We're talking about money. We're talking about identity. If you watch all the activities of Obi Kubana, it is only when he wore his chieftaincy cap with his authority and then in his attire, that was when he was identified. When you look at all other pictures or videos, you can see that it's just normal. But his identity there is when he posed with his regalia as an Easterner, as a real Igbo man, then you can call him a chief. Now, what is the symbol of the farm? What is the symbol of the red cap that he wore? And what is the symbol of the achalo in his hand? Do we wear it because it's fashion, or we wear it because it means something? Let us learn not to abuse our identity. Okay, if you look at Obi Kubana dressing, before a young man in the East is to be decorated in that, there will be a report, a tongue of good report of such a man. In my previous video, I told you what tongue of good report means. Tongue of good report is not because you made money. That is what qualifies you to be a chief. No. Tongue of good report is not because you have assets. That's what qualifies you to be a king. No. Tongue of good report in the essence that you and Ofologu and the tongue have received the decisions of decree of commitment over whatsoever thing that comes out of your mouth and whatsoever thing you engage yourself in the environment where you find yourself. This is our culture. Our culture is a guided principle towards living and sustainability. Okay, who is qualified to be called a chief in our culture? Is it the man that made money, or is it the man of whom duly have obtained the tongue of good report? The tongue of good report has to do with Ofologu. I stop at that. I come into the activity of the kings. That will be another video altogether. But I try to put these things together to help you understand that every youth don't just have a right to go and buy this and put up on his head. No. It's an identity. So be identified the way you are, so that we'll know who you are and address you as such. We are rounding up our first approach in reconciliation, which is our cultural heritage, our traditional heritage, and our religious heritage. We are wrapping up, and we are going into the second phase of our movement, which is our liberty proper, where we will now implement proper the indigenous citizenship rights of every Easternite. This is what is, I told you we are going stage to stage, from one step there, the other step there place, until all things are put in balance. I want to encourage you, ESN, I want to encourage you, IPOB, I want to encourage you, DSS. Today, BSS, today you feel you are in terror. Tomorrow, you will see those terrors no more. I want you to know that every mouth that have said no will start saying yes in a short while. We are at work. Don't think we are sitting idle. We are calling the ancestors. We are calling the land, and we will continue to call until we see results. Only thing we ask you is remain faithful, remain strong, remain in that which is right, and I tell you, what was lost will be recovered 100-fold. It is my promise from the gods and from heavens to you. Time has come, it is ripened. The defeat you call defeat will turn to your victory. Something will start happening. When you begin to see it, don't think it's your strength. They have possessed you. Respond accordingly. I want to conclude this video with an explanation of this traditional heritage in our culture. Our traditional titled men are respected people by law and by any environmental or social exhibition. in the form of military, in the form of force, in the form of anything. Nigerian army cannot handle a northern emir the way Chinwetalado Agu was handled. Nigerian army cannot invade the home of a royal emir in the north the way the home of His Royal Majesty Eze Okwu Kanu was invaded. In the north, a royal authority cannot be arrested or embarrassed. Why is our royal fathers being molested by the so-called government we all say is our government? This is how you know that these are terrorists, they are tyrants, they are barbarians. This is a barbaric government. If a government don't have a respect for my king, then I will not have respect for that government. If a military man does not have a respect for my chief, then I will not have respect for that military man. This is the truth. This is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. If I insult an emir in the north, I will be beheaded. But our emirs will come even to the custom office to discuss even their cargo. Custom will use them play, make them actually to children. No respect to our titled men. Why? Because we have lost the dignity and the glory associated with it. They gave us this and we follow. This is how they kill us all. I have told you. This is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. If the government believe that we are one Nigeria, the kings, are they giving equal justice? Ask yourself. The Bayelsa man, look at the way they handle their king, tie him and put him somewhere. You are chief, you are titled men. Do they have value for the army and the police? No, they have no value. Then what makes you citizen? Identify one thing that make you a citizen of this nation. Listen, we are all enemies of this government. This is a terrorized environment by the government themselves. So it is time we begin to rise to defend our right and our identity. It's our identity. Our identity cannot be used to threaten our existence. When a government begins to use the identity of the people to threaten the existence, that government has become a terrorist. This is the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It is time we stand up for what is right. I don't care. I don't want to know how you feel. What I care is that I have told you the truth. So, Nigerian government, the DSS, or whatsoever police and military, you have told us that you are our enemies. So please, we ask for peaceful dissolution. That is all we ask for as an Eastern youth. We ask for peaceful dissolution. Now, in the ritual rite of an Hausa man is different from the ritual rite of an Igbo man. It's different from the ritual rite of a Yoruba man. So there's no how we can agree because we serve different gods. The God of an Hausa man is different. The God of a Yoruba man is different. The God of Igbo man is different. This thing that they told you is one God is a lie. There is no one God. Every race, China man has his own God. The Arab man has his own God. You have your own God. You, the Igbo man, you have your own God. Find your own God. This one they tell you for church is capital X. Ora Ashi does not exist. Find your own. Then you will see your power spring. Talk said Dr. Charles told you. You see all these, their microphone, they put everywhere making noise. Those are the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Forget the red cap they wear and wear long go bishop. No. Bishop is not a power. And the bishop just means an overseer. Someone that oversees people. That is what bishop is. It's not a power. It's not a priesthood. It's not an office. So they will use it to deceive you and I. They will give you big names. It does not exist. Your God does not know those rubbish. Find your own God. The earlier the better. So that you can be able to win your enemies. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening to me. I will stop this video here this evening so that you can go home and digest what I have shared with you and see whether your identity, your cultural heritage, your traditional heritage, or a religious heritage, if you can be threatened by it. Threatening me in my culture means you want to kill me, and my venom, the evil in me, will come out to defend that. That is the truth. So let us do it right. It is time to end tyranny in Nigeria. It is time to end tyranny in Nigeria. It is time to end barbarism in Nigeria. It is time to end looting and wicked governance in Nigeria. Let us stand by our culture. Our freedom will be guaranteed. Let us stand by our God. Our existence will be protected. Let us stand by the gods and the ancestors of our land. Our children will prosper. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I leave with you this message in the name of the eternal Father, by his eternal Son, and through his eternal Spirit. I want to thank you for your time watching our videos. Always subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. He that is one should warn his brother. As you are in, when you see your friend, collect his phone, key him into Eastern Youth Network activity. When we have all understood the principles as governing our land, we can now go individually in our different communities and see that the right thing is done. By so doing, we will be having one voice. I want to extend the authorities of the IPOB my wonderful blessing and wishes, and the Lord will strengthen you and give you more wisdom, more strength, and more power in pushing forward. Never relent. The gods have come to assist you. You will see your movement more speedy. Watch and see. That is what I am asked to tell you. That minizocha and wogacha. Be up and doing in whatsoever assignment you have been called to do, to the glory of him whom you call your Father in heaven. I am your brother. I am in the struggle. I am a Biafran, and I am doing the work which the Father have called me to do. And I know that you out there also have an assignment which the Father have put in your hand, which you don't know how to do it. But from this evening, you will know how to go about it and begin to do your own. When we all do our duty, we will come together. If we fail to do our duty, we will be lacking something. So let us learn to do our duties. Eastern Youth Network on Facebook, Eastern Youth Network on YouTube, Eastern Youth Network on Instagram. Follow us. Like what we are doing and also dislike what we are doing. Give us your reasons. Give us information. Because time will come. We'll begin to move out. Today we are lecturing. Tomorrow you will see us out there in the field doing what the Father have commanded. But I want to tell you that we will come live in a short while to present to you what the Father have said over numbering his people and the indigenous citizenship of our great nation. I love you out there. The Lord will provide you the money you will use to get data always to follow up. Thank you, and I wish you well.